Brilliant. Thank you for that. Right, so let's get into it. Oh, that's fancy, isn't it? Right. Ignore that because you're all on mute anyway, so we're all good. Okay. So today we're gonna dig deep into your why goals. We're gonna get some plans in place, and we're gonna recognize some little bits of habits and cues, things like that that you might experience. You might not even realize um, that you will recognize going forwards. I remember once going on a speed awareness course. I was doing 37 in a 30 by accident. I couldn't see, which I probably should have been going even slower if I couldn't see. But by the end of that speed awareness course, I used to feel like the road signs were jumping out at me, like they were coming at me, the road signs. I was that aware of what was going on around me. And I'm hoping that we get that for you guys as well. So just before we get into that, though, I just wanted to have a word on nutrition, particularly for those who are new to it coming into January. Okay. Um, of course, you've all got a plan, but to make it as simple as possible, okay, I just want you to focus on that protein. All right. So, whatever it is that you eat, all right, I always want you to look for that protein source, whether it's, chicken breast on your plate, whether it's you're having your lean mince, you're having your salmon. If you're vegetarian, if you're looking at some low fat mozzarella, things like that, okay, I always prioritize that protein on your plate. The reason why is because I want you guys to not only lose weight if that's your goal, but I want you to be able to have a full body composition shift. Okay, so not only are we losing fat, but we're gaining a bit of muscle tone as well. And of course, as we all get older, we I say a lot as we all get older, like I'm not getting old, but I'm getting pretty old now, so I'm not even bothered about saying it anymore. As we get older, um, we lose muscle mass and we need to keep our protein up, okay, to obviously maintain it. And of course, we need to give it that stimulus as well, which is why you all come down to the studio. Okay, brilliant. Um, Instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, okay, just shrink that overall portion size. Okay, it's much easier, as it says on the presentation there, actually at the bottom, it's much easier to shift a habit rather than like changing one completely. So you'll see a lot of people in the new year, they'll be trying to absolutely starve themselves. And they're not going to get where they want to be because, well, one, it's not sustainable. And that's the biggie, right? It's just not sustainable. And so if we just try and shift your eating habits rather than create new ones altogether, then hopefully we can maintain some of the good things you had, introduce some more good things, and see good things out of it as well. Okay. And that brings me on to that point above there in cutting off the things you love. Now, anyone doing like something like dry January, things like that, um, I'd say don't, but if you are doing it, then fair play. I hope you keep it up. But the other thing is like what's going to happen on February 1st. Okay, it's much better to just cut down a little bit rather than cutting out completely. Okay, the one thing I felt like when bodybuilding, where I had to cut everything out to get on stage, was like the more I cut it out, the more I thought about it, and literally. I like as soon as I stepped off stage, I ate everything. Like literally, I was backstage. I wasn't even off the stage. I was behind the curtain, and I was nailing full packs of cupcakes. And all honestly, because I've been cut off for that long. So yeah, not healthy at all. So still keep a bit in, okay? But of course, you've all got a plan. So if you are unsure, ask us. We're here to help you out. Okay. Brilliant. Okay, so we're goal setting. Okay, so immersion, deep mental and physical involvement in something. Now, I'm hoping that you've all got that right now because you are the ones that have showed up tonight. All right, you're on this call, and I'm to be honest, I'm really proud of you all for making that effort to get in here. Okay, there's 15 of us on this call, and you're all here with your pens and papers, paying attention, which is brilliant. Okay, let's keep that up. All right. So you planted the seed. January, you were motivated. Okay. And going forwards, we want that seed to flourish. We want it to grow into a plant. We want it to grow into a tree. Okay. And when it does become that tree, that's when we have those healthy habits that stick for life because they become so ingrained into us. Okay. And in doing that, it takes small steps every day. Okay. And this might sound absolutely like disgusting right now. And the thought of this might sound horrible. And I'm sorry if there are any vegetarians on here. Or, I mean, I bet none of you eat frogs anyway, to be fair. Unless you do. I don't know. But how to boil a frog. Okay. Now, this isn't actually a thing, all right, so don't do it. But if you have a boiling pot of water, right? It's 100 degrees, right? It's bubbling up. And if you then chuck a frog into that pan, that pot of boiling water, what's going to happen? The frog's going to be like, oh my God, boiling water. It's going to jump out straight away. Okay. You ain't going to boil your frog. All right. Whereas if you have a pan of cold water, pot of cold water, you just place your frog in it nice and comfortable. All right. And you gradually up and up and up that temperature. The frog ain't going to notice until it's too late. Okay. And that's what we have to do with our health and fitness habits. Okay. It's so much easier to just chip away, take a little bit more food off, train a little bit more than it is to completely starve ourselves and completely break ourselves. Now, I know some of you brand new 6 weekers might feel a bit broken right now, right? But trust me, you're going to feel very good very soon. Okay. But it's just about chipping away at it. Okay. And here's the proof, right? So in January, motivation is high. We're absolutely flying. We make the call, we have a chat with Kimberly, Kerry, Emma, whoever it may be. We jump on the program, and motivation is up there, okay? But completely natural, it's not going to be there forever. Okay. So by mid-January, getting into February, most of you are in the dip. Okay. And the reason that you're in that motivation dip is because you're not where you were, okay? You've made a change, you've done brilliant, but you're actually still not quite where you want to be yet. You're literally in the trenches, okay? You're still fighting that battle. And honestly, every single thing you want comes at the end of that. And it just comes with building that resilience and digging a little bit deeper and just keep pushing forwards, okay? It's like, for example, when you're digging for gold, okay, you never quite know how close you are to it until you hit it. Like you could stop digging, you could get fed up and stop digging. You could be like millimeters away from gold. Okay. So it's just a case of sticking with it. Now, just to give you some examples of some of you guys, right? So Lisa, Andy, Mike as well, like it got to the point where like, okay, you was making progress. We were seeing your check-ins every week. Okay, you were losing weight, this, that, and the other. Okay. As you were progressing along this graph, but then it actually got to the point where it skyrocketed. And then every time you were walking through the door in the studio, you were changing. I could see the changes in your face, in your body composition. It looks absolutely amazing. So you just got to stick with it. And obviously, we are here to help you stick with it as well. So if you ever feel like you're in the dip, reach out. Okay. That's one of the most important takeaways here. Reach out because everyone on this call, we're all here to support each other and get ourselves through it. Okay. Another thing I want to talk to you about tonight was this little Q routine reward cycle. Okay, so it's one of my all-time favorite books. Oh, I've not got it in my. It's not got it over here. It must be in the wardrobe. But it's one of my all-time favorite books called The Power of Habit. So I would definitely give that a read if you haven't already. This is one of the biggest takeaways, though. Okay, and it's that we always have a cue. Okay, we have something that triggers a routine. Okay, whatever it may be. That routine that we then carry out gives us a reward. Now, I'm going to give you three examples now. And what I want you to do from this is think where this is happening for you. Okay. So here's one of the examples. Okay. For example, you've been at work all day. You pick the school up, you pick the kids up from school, all right, and you take them to after school club. You get just a half an hour lull of you time. What do? You raid the cupboards, you binge on everything, and what do you get as a result? You get a taste sensation, you get a dopamine hit. Okay, you feel that little bit of satisfaction from doing that. Obviously, we know how destructive and damaging that can be. Okay, another one. Um, so you've had a rough day at work, you want to unwind, you want to chill out. You sit down on the sofa, you bang Netflix on, and then boom, here's a routine. You get the bottle of wine out, and you have the bottle of wine. So you're nailing 500 calories, right? And of course, you get that sensation of relaxing and unwinding, of course, because alcohol's a bit of a downer, so it obviously slows down heart rate and things like that. So But again, it can be quite a destructive habit if it gets on top of you. Okay, here's another one which you may be facing right now. You may start to face as you carry on this journey in January, where you may have eaten a healthy meal, which is brilliant, but you still might have that little inkling because we're still trying to wean ourselves off the Christmas chocolates and biscuits, right? So you've eaten your healthy meal, but then you start looking for that sweet treat, right? And of course, again, you raid the cupboards, and the reward is having that craving satisfied. Okay. Now, in all these things, right, the cues are always going to be there. Okay. Always going to be there because they're just day-to-day things that we do without even thinking about. Okay. And we kind of still want the reward to be the same as well because we want to feel happy. We want those hits of serotonin, dopamine, all that sort of stuff, all the happy hormones that, you know, make life worth living, right? But what we do need to do is we need to change the routine, okay, that builds up to that reward. Okay, so for example, instead of raiding the cupboards, after the kids go to the club, the after school club, and like binging on chocolate, something like that, you could have something of a higher protein snack. Okay. In looking at if you after sitting down after a rough day at work, instead of sitting down with a bottle of wine, okay, make yourself a flavored cup of tea. Okay. Still get that same relaxing feeling. Okay. Eating a healthy meal, looking for a sweet treat. On that one, I'd say give it 10 minutes. Okay. Give it 10 minutes and just let your hunger hormones subside. Okay. Because there's loads of things at play when you're hungry, okay? One of them is called ghrelin, it's hunger hormone, and it doesn't subside straight away, it only subsides a few minutes after you've eaten. Okay. So after you've eaten a healthy meal, just give it 10 minutes. All right. And I bet you won't crave it. And if you do, again, go for that like that hot drink, go for a hot cup of tea or something like that. Okay. Fab. Right. Whistle stop tour. I want to know, you don't have to tell us if it is that close to you, because I understand that for some people it's quite hard to explain or convey the why to people. But everyone has a reason why they walk through the doors of AK Active in the first place. And I want you to write down that reason why you actually walked through the door for the first time, or why you had that phone call with Kimberly, or why you went on our website and submitted your details, or why you went through our Facebook ad and you joined AK Active. So yeah, just spend some time for me jotting down why. If you do want to tell us, then please pop it in the comments and we'll have a little look. Okay. But what I will say is make it meaningful. Okay. Make it deep. Make it want to get you up off your seat and feel driven, feel motivated, feel inspired. Okay, make it so you want to get up and do something. Make it so that when you wake up in the morning, it makes you want to rip the sheets off you and get up, you know, stamp on the floor and go and get it done. Okay. The reason why I want you to make it deep and meaningful is that I want you to use it every time. So if I'm instructing in session, I might ask you to remember why you walked through the door in the first place. And it just gives you that little bit more. Every time what leg day is like, right? So every time I happened to, get under the bar when I was about to do some squats, I was like, who am I going to be stood on stage next to? Okay, and the reason why I do it now is longevity. I want to be healthy as I get older. I don't want to be struggling to move about in the nursing home. So have a think about that. Brilliant. Okay, so they're coming through now. This is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. All right, looking good, guys. Brilliant. Really good so far. Brilliant. So yeah, keep jotting those down. Have a think. Okay, if you are struggling, again, just reach out or put your hand up. All right. Um, but also, I want to move on to our goals as well. Of course, this is why you joined tonight, right? Now, I'm sure you all have a goal because again, similar to your why, there's a reason why you walk through the door. Okay. Now, a lot of us set a goal up in the new year to lose weight, feel fitter, feel happier. But for me, that's not enough. Okay. And I'm a former project manager. Okay. And funnily enough, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but there you go. There's my little car that I was a project manager of, not the actual toy, but the real car. And everything had to be time bound. Everything had to be specific, as obviously it was related to part of the vehicle, right? But we can't be vague when it comes to our goals because if we are vague, then that's all we're going to get. All right. We're going to shoot for something. And how do we know if we've got there? Right. So let's have a look. All right. Be specific. What is going to happen? What are you going to achieve? Are you going to lose a stone? When is it going to happen? Are we going to do it in those 6 weeks? Come on, you can do it. All right. And when will you know you've achieved it? Okay. Just like what I said before, if you just want to be like, yeah, I want to lose weight, I want to be fitter, let's make it immeasurable. Okay, let's go and run a marathon. All right, or maybe it's just a 5K. Right, anything's good. All right, whatever that level may be. So really, really think about being specific. Okay, now again, now you've written some whys down, which is fantastic. So let's just have a little look at them. So Mike, I've been here a few years now. If I don't come, I feel like I've cheated myself. So Mike has been on the journey for a long time. Like I think I've been training him on and off for 2 to 3 years now, and obviously he's so much weight. He's lost over 100 kilos, maybe over 120 now, which is absolutely incredible. But for Mike, we need to keep. It is about keeping changing the goalposts because once you achieve something, you cannot just be like, right, I achieved it now. Now what? Because you will lose that motivation again. So you need to make that next goal. Okay. And of course, that's what I guess 2025 is about for Mike now. So hopefully, Mike, we've got some good goals here. Um, lose weight since starting the menopause. Mojo was lost. Brilliant. Also had me time away from kids. That's so important. So important to have that. I really, really do agree. You need that time for yourself, just to take yourself away and get in your own headspace. That's so important. Again, just a weight loss thing. Let's just put a figure on it. Andy's was a trip to hospital when they told him he was too heavy to have his op. Yeah, amazing. And now what? They're like, oh my God. He's done so amazing. Like, guys, I can't. I, we have showed some before and after of Andy, but if you can see him on the camera, Lisa and Andy are on the call, and there's a fridge behind them, and Andy's goal, like Andy took up like both doors of the fridge when he first started, right? And he's going to be able to get inside the fridge soon, which is incredible. Michelle wanted to get more active after menopause, lost me and wanted me time. Brilliant. Again, so important. And Michelle, after that video, we did together, you've done absolutely amazing. And your before and afters are fantastic as well. So you really locked in on it, which is fantastic. Katie's new to us, so she's joined us recently on our 6 week program, and she wants to feel stronger, healthier, um, live as long as possible with my daughters, which is brilliant, and show them the healthier way of living. Brilliant. Sick of being stuck in a rut. All these years at slimming clubs. Yes, that's it. So you want to have that direct route to results now. Brilliant. Daryl feel so much more confident, happier, healthier, and stronger. I want to feel like this for the rest of my life. That's very strong. Why? Yeah, brilliant, fantastic. Raisha, lose weight, build stamina, feel better. Fantastic. Yeah, I love that. Jet wants to be a better example to the children so they can be more mindful about eating, fuel their body, for their activities at the same time. That's brilliant. Yeah, fantastic. So breeding them health habits. So kids don't they don't sort of, well, they do observe, but they absorb. And so many times, when the kids come down to the studio as well, even if they just sit on the table and chairs, they take so much in. And the parents inspire them so much. So you don't actually realize how much of an impact it really, really has, which is fantastic. Fantastic. Joanne, I struggled with weight of life. As I've grown older, realized I've been an emotional eater, struggled with mental health all my life. In the process of trying to improve mental health. Brilliant. I think weight's part of that for me. Fantastic. Brilliant. So really locking down on it. Martine, lose another stone. When we're going to do it? Have you got another stone available, Martine? Love that. Felt overweight, sluggish, unhappy. Finally got fed up buying bigger clothes. Yeah, that can be such a huge trigger. So it's having that leverage. So we're sort of accepting of it until one day it becomes too much, right? How many of you has that happened to where like it's like a switch has just flipped and it's like right, I'm going to do something about it today. Brilliant. Fantastic. Low blood pressure, fantastic. All right, amazing. Good. Liking it. Brilliant, guys. That's fantastic. So, I need to ask you all now, who is ready to take massive action? Now, you've written down some goals, which is fantastic. Now, to celebrate this first this first Q&A that we're having together, I have just purchased two absolutely massive goal walls, right? Bespoke. I've designed them and they've just been delivered today, literally. And they're literally like this big, like they're massive. So Blackburn and South Ribble, both going to get them in. And everything you've written down here, I want you to remember, okay? You're going to write down your goal. You're going to write down the target date. And we've got a little checkbox as well for when you've actually achieved it as well. Okay. So there we go. Deep why specific goals. Okay. Remember, it's not just lose weight. Okay. Let's put a figure on it. Okay. What you can aim for in a week, 1 to 2 pounds. What you can aim for in a month, half a stone, 6 weeks, stone. Okay. And so on. Make it specific and aim for it. Because if you aim for something, you will get something out of it. Even if you don't quite hit what you aim for, all right. This is a really cheesy Pitbull lyric, right? But it's better to shoot for the stars and land on the clouds, all right, than to not do it at all. All right. That's very cheesy. Okay. Brilliant. And oh wow, it's like I knew what I was about to say, all right? So it's better to have a goal, progress and fall short than to have no goal at all. Okay. And of course, when you reach that goal, set a new one. Okay. Because a lion needs something to hunt. Okay. You need something to go after. You need something to sink your teeth in to keep you focused. Okay. That's why this year we're looking at doing the deadly dozen. I always say dirty dozen. The deadly dozen. That's why we're looking at chucking a 10K in there. That's why we're looking at um Born Survivor as well. Okay. We want to keep you accountable and we want to keep you moving forwards. Okay. Fantastic.